Hey, Ron Howe here from RB Bass Outdoors. Sitting out here in the side access. Finally moved to a spot to keep my boat a few months ago. So now got the Skeeter and the Mercury 250 XS right here in the side yard. Got the shade canopy out there to keep me cool on the summer days. It's about 90 plus degrees outside right now, but it's nice right here in the shade. I owe you a California Delta report. I went out on Monday, post-holiday, just as expected. The crazy warriors of the weekend from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday had their fun out there in the California Delta, and they were gone. The Delta was peaceful, pretty much empty. Left midday, was not a full fishing trip. I actually took my girlfriend out fishing and to go, get some lunch and do some things. So this is kind of how the day went. I looked at my tide charts, kind of saw where the tide was at, kind of pulled over right there because it was on a switch, right? And we were somewhere around midday and pulled up. I'm there to practice for the frog derbies coming up. UFC, you got the snag proof coming, 2 different frog derbies coming on California Delta, and I'm just out there practicing throwing a frog. I love throwing topwater, have for years. Been fortunate to have some success in these tournaments over the years, be competitive, and even won a couple of them. So we're excited to throw a frog on the Delta, right? So I pull up basically on the switch of the tide, and immediately I had one, jump at my frog, and I wasn't expecting to miss it. It was just a little 2-pounder, nothing big. Kept going a little bit, kept going, missed another one. I said, well, they're just not eating it right. And threw it back out there and was popping my frog and walking it. I see a swirl behind it. I'm like, oh, there's one following it. Just moved it some more. Whew, there's one following it. My girlfriend says, hey, can you take the weeds off my drop shot? My frog's just sitting dead still. Turn around, look at her, grab the weeds off the drop shot, and before I could turn my head, this fish crushes it. I'm like, God, this thing, I'm literally sitting there waiting with the rod in my hand and undoing her drop shot, and I turn around, reel up the slack, and pop it. It still had it, so I was able to get that one. It wasn't a big one. It was maybe 3.5 pounder, but first frog fish on the Delta this year. I had done pretty well earlier in the year up on Clear Lake, but just trying to get the casting down, the rods down, and build some stamina for the frog derbies. Being out there in the California Delta is different. You're dealing with the winds, the tides. It's just different on your body at the end of the day. And I'm up there pushing 53 years old, still got a lot of gas left in the tank, but I could feel it at the end of the day. So got my first froggy fish under my belt, wanted to get the girl some fish, so took out the drop shot, changed it over to 6-inch margarita mutilator. Great color out there on the California Delta. Tossed it out, caught a little one, let her reel it in, and then she grabbed the rod and started doing her things. And she can cast really good, and she did pretty good, fumbling around out there in the weeds because she hasn't fished a lot of the Delta with me yet. The lakes, yes, but not the Delta. And after getting caught up in the grass a few times, she goes, I got one. And I turn around and she's fully engaged, and she got a nice 2.5 pounder out there on a drop shot. And unfortunately, I'm on the move to try to catch more fish. I know we could have stood there and got some more drop shot bites, but I'm chasing down some topwater bites and trying to learn what's out there, right? So we leave, the wind comes up, the tide's moving in, picked up the old chatter chicken, get to work with the crawdad color, and it's instant, back-to-back bites. And, I kind of knew right then I could go around chattering and catch a bunch of fish, but we were there to kind of do a little fishing, a little scouting, and go to lunch. So put the rods away. We made a run all the way up to Garlic Brothers, and they're closed on a Monday after a holiday at 2 o'clock. So we tried to go into Bob's Burgers, but we got there at 1:57, washed our hands, came back in. They said, oh, sorry, we're closed. They didn't tell us that when we asked where the bathroom was at 3 minutes prior. So we couldn't eat there. So, well, we can run back to Windmill Cove, or we can go all the way out to Russo's and Frank's Track. So with that Mercury on the back, we're going to run to Frank's. Even though it was windy, tide was coming in, it laid down quite a bit. We made a run out there, went to the Rusty Porthole, which always has an amazing scenery, looking out over Frank's Track. Had ourselves a nice hamburger, some fish and chips, and then made our trip back and really just scouted out stuff. And I will tell you, it's going to be a pretty amazing year out there for whoever figures out the frog bite, because there's a lot of cheese, and a lot of cheese in areas there hasn't been for a long time. It wasn't really hot. I had some fish bump the cheese. They wouldn't blow through it. Just not hot enough to get them to react, but it's coming. And there's going to be some really good fish caught in cheese this year. I'll catch them any way I can. That's not usually how I dial them down. Although I've caught a lot of big fish in the cheese, it's more when it's sparse, and right now there's just cheese everywhere, and it's anybody's game when it's like that. You could just hit the right cheese mat and poof, there's the giant. Tournament over, right? So the California Delta is shaping up really good. The grass is growing really well. There has been spraying out there. You do got to find the areas that they've kind of annihilated stuff and concentrate a little more on the areas that are healthy and clean. The water's pretty clean overall. There was a little traffic dirtiness still out there. I think that'll even settle down in the upcoming weeks to more of a normal traffic, mud lines and stuff out there. But right now, a lot of the fish are going to be deep and in the current, shallow, top water in the morning, top water in the evening. I would get my punch stick out right now. I had it out. I never fished it because I'm practicing for the frog tournament. But the truth is, the way the fish were acting with the deeper chatterbait, the deeper drop shot, if you got in there and punched in that, say, 3.5 to 6 foot zone, you're really going to get some good fish right now. So if you're looking to go get bites, pick up a drop shot, stay on the outside edge of the grass, throw a chatterbait on the outside edge of the grass, or go get that big stick in your hand and go punching. If not, get those frogs in your hand and start figuring out where those better fish are living this year and go catch a fish on the California Delta. Water temp, 77 to 81 degrees, 81 in the south, 77 in Franks. I hope this information helps you to go out and catch some fish these upcoming weekends, whether you're frogging, flipping, or just having a good time. Get on the California Delta, throw your bluegill colors, throw your bass, throw your red craws, keep it simple, dark purple on a drop shot, green pumpkin, red flake on any brand you want, and you're going to catch bass. Make sure if you're punching, you try them Pro X hooks because that new punch hook is the deal. Ron Howe, RB Bass Outdoors, checking out from the backyard. We'll see ya.